West is shaping up. Looks like we maybe need to go through and reevaluate Davante Adams, Josh Jacobs, the possibility of Will Levis going over to Vegas. As I get into this, though, let me remind you, we just launched FlockFantasy.com. In my mind, this is going to change the fantasy football industry. I think this will be the best fantasy football site you are going to find, where not only do you have yours truly, but you have the best analysts across the industry. You have fantasy in-game, fantasy land football, fantasy stock exchange, all teaming up with myself on FlockFantasy.com. And when you sign up with promo code FLOCK, not only are you going to get everybody's rankings, both 2023, Dynasty, one quarterback, Superflex, you're going to be getting exclusive articles, live streams, Discord chat, bonus content. And with promo code FLOCK, you are going to get a in-depth podcast breakdown of your Dynasty team by yours truly, and at the same time, 30% off any subscriptions. You can find the link in the comment section and in the description. I could not be more excited about that. It's probably the biggest day of my career. And I think that should be it. Let's go through. Let's talk about Jimmy Garoppolo going to the Raiders. Now, honestly, what I was most excited about for the Raiders was the possibility of a rookie quarterback going there. I mean, initially before the NFL Combine, we thought that that was most likely going to end up being Anthony Richardson, whereas in reality, probably not. Okay. In reality, you probably have Will Levis going now that the Raiders are going to be picking at 7 and Anthony Richardson skyrocketing to be a top 5 NFL pick. Looks like most people have Richardson going to the Indianapolis Colts instead. So I was very excited about the possibility of Will Levis going to the Raiders, because if you look at this Raiders offense, if you look at this Raiders situation, it's pretty damn good. I mean, you're sitting in a spot where you have Davante Adams at wide receiver. Davante Adams, even though drafted in 2014, definitely an older player, we still saw this past season that it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Davante Adams is an elite level wide receiver. It doesn't matter his age. To be honest, I was worried about Davante Adams not playing with Aaron Rodgers, but those worries tended to be just completely incorrect, as week 1, he goes over to the Las Vegas Raiders and commands 17 targets, making us look like an idiot. And if we are going to be looking at now Jimmy Garoppolo compared to Derek Carr, I understand a lot of people were very excited about Carr in general. I never saw it with Derek Carr. I mean, I think that Derek Carr is an average NFL quarterback, but in terms of the contract the New Orleans Saints gave him, and I want to say Derek Carr is a below average NFL quarterback, because I believe there are a few different classes of QBs, quarterbacks you could possibly win a Super Bowl with if you have a loaded roster around them. Then a class above, a quarterback that can win the Super Bowl despite their roster any given season. I mean, very rarely are you going to find someone like that. That's going to be your Patrick Mahomes. Maybe put Joe Burrow, Josh Allen in that tier. We don't know just yet. But under both of those, I have those quarterbacks that can maybe have a playoff run, but will never win the Super Bowl. And that's where I'm throwing in guys like Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't care the roster you put around Derek Carr or Jimmy G. I really never see them getting the job done and then them getting you all the way there. So if we're talking about the implications for the Raiders, in my mind, giving Derek Carr either $100 million guaranteed like the New Orleans Saints did and $150 million total through the course of 4 seasons versus, hey, maybe we go get Jimmy Garoppolo, pay him significantly less, have him as a bridge quarterback, bring in a rookie QB in the NFL draft. I really like this for the Raiders. I really like this for Davante Adams this next season. I really like this for Josh Jacobs this next season. And what we are going to be looking at is the security that we have. The floor with these players will all be raised. We know Jimmy Garoppolo is going to provide decent quarterback play, to say the least. And you still have it as a possibility for you to go through and see Will Levis selected at 7. But this gives the Raiders the flexibility to not have to make that decision to trade up. If they think, okay, well, yeah, we would love it if Will Levis falls. We would love it if Anthony Richardson falls to us at 7. We'll push the button. We'll draft them there. But we don't like them enough to go and pull a Carolina Panthers to make sure we're trading up to pick 3 and just locking in the player that we need. I mean, I think that it makes a lot of sense for the Raiders to view it in that light, especially seeing the Panthers get clowned on deciding what they wanted to do by trading up and mortgaging almost everything with the Chicago Bears. Now, one other thing this has a massive implication of is the future of Aaron Rodgers. Because if you were looking at Las Vegas sportsbooks and you were looking at the odds of where Rodgers was going to be playing this upcoming season, there were two main teams. You had the Las Vegas Raiders and the New York Jets. Those were really the only two teams. We are pretty certain at this point that you are not going to have Aaron Rodgers on the Green Bay Packers. Based off of everything we have heard from the Packers, it sounds like it's probably not happening. I think that relationship's too far gone. Sounds like the Packers don't even want him there. So let me go ahead and let me pull up my Twitter because we tweeted this out earlier as well. But of course, we have all the announcements here. Go sign up for FlockFantasy.com. Use promo code FLOCK. Get an in-depth podcast of your team. Get all our rankings. I could not be more excited about this. 30% off with promo code FLOCK as well. But skipping past all that, let's go through and let's look at what I tweeted out. I believe this was 2 days ago. We are tracking what we had with the updated odds for the Super Bowl this upcoming season. And you were looking at the Chiefs plus 600, the Bills plus 700, 49ers 800, Eagles 900, Bengals 1,000. And then directly under them, the only team with better odds are the Bengals, Eagles, 49ers, Bills, Chiefs, were the New York Jets. In my mind, this told us, hell, Aaron Rodgers will be on the Jets very soon. Las Vegas sportsbooks, they know what's going on. And now that we are looking at this trade where you have the veteran QB going to Las Vegas, I am even more confident in saying that Rodgers will be going over to the New York Jets. Hopefully, we are going to be getting confirmation about this relatively soon. If we were to get Rodgers go to the Jets, I would say this is going to be the best Jets quarterback since, God, how long? Please, everybody in the chat, I understand that Aaron Rodgers is not necessarily the quarterback that he was years ago. Maybe Aaron Rodgers has had his mind go a little bit too crazy with some extracurriculars, but still, I mean, if we are looking at Rodgers going into his age 40 season, I would feel comfortable saying Rodgers will be the best Jets quarterback that I have seen in my lifetime. I remember Favre on the Jets. I don't remember it being pretty. If we're looking at an adjusted yards per pass attempt standpoint, Rodgers was worse this past year than we've ever seen throughout his NFL career. But at the same time, his top weapons for the majority of the season were non-existent. You had Randall Cobb get injured. You had Christian Watson get injured. You had Alan Lazard get injured. You had Romeo Doubs get injured. Rodgers had nobody. He had nobody going into the season. Then everybody got hurt. Sammy Watkins got injured. So I don't know the last time the Jets had a quarterback this good. You have Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall as significantly better options than whatever was in Green Bay this past offseason. You also have the possibility that the Jets decide to make an additional play outside of just Aaron Rodgers alone. So good news for almost everybody around. Good news for Jimmy G. Looks like he will be a starting quarterback at the beginning of the season. Raises the floor for Adams, Jacobs, possibly Waller, Renfro if they're still there. You also have in my mind this making it significantly more likely that Rodgers will be a Green Bay Packer. But I think that's all we got for this. Of course, thank you so much, my friends, for checking us out. Go to FlockFantasy.com. Lock in your 30% off any subscription with promo code FLOCK. Get a podcast made of your team from yours truly. My mind is the best thing that's ever happened in my career and probably one of the best things that has ever happened to the fantasy football industry. But thank you again. I really do appreciate you. I really hope you have a great day and really hope I get to see you on FlockFantasy.com in just about 5 minutes.